Good morning, everyone. So the last video, let me make myself bigger here. The last video I did, we did the start of the mix down, or not the mix down, the start of the recording right from scratch. Formatted an SD card, checked everything, like checked all the levels in that throughout the system, make sure there's no EQ or anything else on, and just and then imported the scratch track, the original MIDI track. And what I've done is because of the song, and my familiarization with it, because I'm going to have to do the drums on it soon. I wanted to put down some tracks that I could follow along better with than the because that really doesn't tell me where I am in the song. Whereas, so what I did was I put a vocal track down, so I have reference to the vocals, and then I also put down a bass track. So let me show you just my quick setup for that. So pretty much I used my Rode NT microphone. You can see it sitting over there. I had it over here before. I'm going to show you some video of me singing and playing the bass. And yeah, so I tracked that onto, let me just show you the singing and bass first. So here's what I recorded. Good night, sleep tight until we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen till then. And though it's always sweet sorrow. There we go. So now that's out of the way. Now we can go on the rest one. So just use the Rode NT over there for the vocals. I use my Steinberger 5-string, even though I didn't need the 5-string on it. It was the easiest one to grab. So I did that. Now let's go look at the board here. Now if you noticed, there was reverb coming out of the vocals. So to do this, the easiest way, now I'll show you what I recorded here. So go down this way. So I've only been recording on these these three tracks. So 8 is bass, and 11, 12. I didn't bother changing to mono. It's just 11 and 12 is my vocals, and then 9, 10 is the original MIDI guitar track. 7 and 8 cross here. So these ones 1 to 7. They are going to be. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, a little bit of gas there. They're going to be the drums, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my fancy cleanup systems with them, and then they're going to get moved to the stereo ones here, and certain ones will be converted to mono. Or you know what, I might even just leave them because it's really, I'm not really looking. I don't need them to be mono right away so that I can have more tracks up here. Because if you know anything, I've done a video on it. Whereas, like if you use a single input on a stereo track, it counts as 2. So you lose your simultaneous. So if you were to do all 4 of these ones over here and have them all record on the stereo tracks, you've now filled your 8 input limit, because it looks at each of these as being stereo. That's just why I always switch them to mono. In this case, I'm going to be recording on 1 to 7 for drums, and then 6 and 7 will technically be the overheads, but that's another story for later. So I can get around that, and then I'm going to do my usual effects loop through, reamp, use the system. I will probably set it for all for compression right away, but to do the noise track, to do the gating and all that stuff, I will do that afterwards, separately, so that it will get done, and then everything will be moved, and then everything will be bounced onto these ones down here, which is where I want them anyways. So yeah, so now if you listen to the vocals, you would have heard some reverb. I didn't do anything fancy for reverb. All I did was in the menu here, so if you go to track 11, 12, I just switched to track 11, 12. Look at the mixer. It's a little glare. I'm sorry about that. It's quite sunny today. But as you can see, let me just bring her down a bit here. You can see that like on the sends, I have it going pre 105, and then the masters are 127 both. I always do that. I just leave them at 127. It's just, you know, max it out. And I'm using the internal effects. So clicking on the effects button over here, you can see I have reverb on. There we go. Reverb is on. Let's see if I can just get a little bit of the glare away if I do this. No, not really. That's quite glary today. There we go. Now I'm a little darker, but that's fine. So yeah, so I'm just have hall reverb. The reason I did this really was for myself, because I couldn't tell if I was actually hearing my recording going. So I couldn't tell what I was hearing. I want to make sure that I was actually recording something, and I was. I didn't do this on the bass because I didn't really need it. I just wanted to straight in bass, just record it. Yeah, so that's what I did there. You can now, if you're wondering how do you get here, if you're in guitar, so now I'm in guitar here, you click on the send here, and then you're in this system, and then here you got the chorus, delay, and remember you can only use one at a time, and then reverb. So I was using reverb right out of the box, just easy. And the other reason I did it that way was because it's just out in the ether. It just kind of goes, it's there, but it's not getting recorded. It only gets recorded on mixdown, so it's not getting recorded here, and that's what I wanted. I just wanted an easy out. You know what I'm saying? Just to have it recorded. It's dry vocals on track 11, 12, and that's how I want it to be. So, and I can prove that by simply doing. Well, I think I'm still plugged in here, so let me just see. Good night, sleep tight, until we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. So as you can see, till then, and though it's always sweet sorrow to part, you know. There you go. And yeah, it's not the greatest vocals either, and like I said, this is all scratch, so I'm not looking to record anything, you know, high tech at the moment. This is not what it's for. So that's where I am so far. My next step is going to be to sit behind the drums, practice this for a while, and get myself to the point that I can play it with minimal mistakes. I'm one of these guys who believes that you should try to get it all working perfectly. I don't care about mistakes, really. If there's a mistake, most people don't even notice it. I would notice it all the time, but that's different to me. And so yeah, I'm going to record on the drums later at some point. That'll probably be the next video, and then I will show you what I do from there. So that's my video today. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Go bye.